Hello, Swear Nation. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and we have a great show up tonight for you. We have 3 sauces on deck for Hot or Not, and we got Ian Ruthless as our guest tonight. Can't wait to get this one going. Hey, if this is your first time checking us out, glad to have you here. This is a show that's by the chili head community for the community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. So, hey, let's go ahead and get show number 18 started. All right. Hey, welcome on in. So glad that everyone's here. I can already see the chat popping off. So glad to see y'all. And hey, we got a great show planned for you. We got 3 sauces on deck. All of these are from Coconut Joe's hot sauce. We have the jalapeno garlic, the sriracha, and the mango daddle. So can't wait to get into that. We also have Ian Ruthless from Ruthless Reaper hot sauce as our guest today. Can't wait to dive into that. Understand what it's like to be, an up-and-coming sauce maker, the struggles that he's had to go through to get to this point, what the future looks like, and much more. So if this is your first time checking out the show, glad to have you here. Hey, this is a live show, so jump on in the chat and be a part of the show. You can fire off questions for Ian, for me, whatever the case may be. Let's get this moving in there, and glad to have everyone here. Also, we have, of course, we're trying to grow the show here on YouTube, so definitely share this with other chili heads, and let's get this in front of everyone that needs to be here. So, once again, let's go ahead and start off Hot or Not. All right. Hey, welcome on in. We're going to start off Hot or Not tonight. Like I said, we have 3 sauces. We're going to start with the jalapeno garlic. So just in case this is your first time checking out the show, we do things a little bit different here. I don't do a 1 to 10 scale. I do a 1 out of 5 categories. Those categories are heat, flavor, versatility, aroma, and burn. And with that, we average that total score, and from there, we get our total swear word rating. So up first, we're going to do jalapeno garlic. I'm going to go in the order that I think that these would be from a heat range. So perforated, but of course, I like to get in there with the knife. So let's go ahead and get this set on up. So first off the bat, visual appeal. You got a great color. You got what looks like to be some thickness to it, but at the same time, it's got a bit of a run. So this would be a little bit more of a loose sauce than this would be on the lighter scale. It's not going to be quite a medium sauce, but it definitely has some of that medium thickness to the body. So excited to see how this one goes, and let's get into it. So does have a flow restrictor. I'm going to go ahead and take that off for the sake of the pour. But let's get this started. So, nice hearty spoonful. Wow. It's got great flavor. Phenomenal flavor. The garlic is definitely noticeable from the initial aroma standpoint as well as the flavor. Let me go ahead and jot down some here. Let's go. All right. So as far as the aroma, it's very subtle in the sense of what's delivered. You get a nice garlic aroma right off the bat. You do smell a little bit of the jalapeno It smells like maybe some kind of a lime. I would have to kind of, we'll dive into the exact ingredients here in a second, but you get kind of a fresh, crisp smell from that garlic and that jalapeno. Dig in the aroma. So let's go ahead and get this down here. My pen would write. There we go. All right. So heat on this one. Heat's not going to be too bad. You know, if you're just now entering into the game and you haven't really had much exposure to things that are spicy, this is going to be a nice sauce for you to be able to dive into. You know, you could probably get a little bit adventurous with this one and not be in too much danger. So from a chili head standpoint, I would say this would be on the more mild side for where I would put it. It does have a nice slight burn. It's more in the back of the mouth area, not quite the throat, but the back mouth region. Overall, phenomenal flavor. Definitely delivers on that garlic jalapeno. So let me get this jotted down here for burn, and then I'm going to hand this on over to Jeff. All right, so while he is entering that, we'll go ahead and put the cap back on, and we'll dive into the ingredients. All right, so first and foremost, once again, Coconut Joe's hot sauce. This is the garlic, or the jalapeno garlic. And they do give a heat indicator on the side. They do indicate this is mild. So pretty spot on with that, I would say. All right, so here we go. Ingredients on this one. We got distilled vinegar, water, jalapeno pepper mash, and then we got garlic, carrots, onion, cilantro, brown sugar. So it must be the vinegar and the onions combined to give me that other. Like I was saying, I could definitely taste the garlic. I could definitely taste the jalapeno, but there was what I thought was more of a citrus taste, but it was probably the overall flavor profiles from that onion and the vinegar kind of coming together on that. But all in all, definitely liking this sauce. I know my family has been. They've been, so we were fortunate enough to have not only one, but another set. So my wife and oldest son, Daniel, who you have seen on the show, they've been going to town on it. So, definitely gets their stamp of approval. Let's go ahead and dive on into these here, these numbers. So up first, like I said, we got the jalapeno garlic. So for heat, we're coming in at 2.4. Like I said, not too bad. Not going to burn you down. Aroma 3.4. Flavor 3.9. Versatility 4.2. And burn 2.2. You know, burn's not going to be something that's going to burn you too bad on this one. Let's see the total swear word rating. 3.22. There we go. Solid sauce right there. Highly recommend. It is a flavor bomb. We'll go ahead and jump on over to the sriracha next. So once again, it's a lighter consistency sauce. So it's not, I would assume this is going to be more their take on a sriracha. So definitely excited to see how this one goes. Once again, it's perforated, so don't need to cut it. Get a good shake. All right. All right, let me get the stopper off here for the pour. And with the consistency of it, I definitely think the stopper is not a bad thing because it does have a lot more flow. So if you're, trying to get in there and get a good pour, but maybe your tolerance really isn't up there. You don't want to go too crazy with it. Or maybe you just don't want to just, spin the whole bottle on one turn. It definitely makes sense to have that there. So overall, let's get on into this. All right, another healthy pour. Oh, and I'm dripping. Okay. This is initial flavor. It's a phenomenal flavor. My brain was trying to recall what you know, the typical grab and squeeze sriracha that you think of. This definitely has that flavor profile, but it is not that thicker consistency. I definitely am digging how they are doing this here. It's unique. It delivers a different, overall presentation package and mouth experience, if you will, from the sauce. I would definitely say the heat-wise, as I was, guessing, it definitely is just a touch hotter than the jalapeno garlic. So let me get some stuff written down here. Overall aroma, I actually think I'm liking the sriracha aroma better than the jalapeno garlic. So let me do this here and write that down. Heat. All right. So flavor, once again, the flavor profile of this is very nice. It's still, obviously, it's making my mouth salivate as we sit here and speak. Overall, I would say the versatility on this sauce, and I know I didn't speak to the versatility as much with the other, but I would say they are both very evenly paired in the realm of versatility. There's not really anything limiting factor-wise that you would, not be able to use this sauce on. So go ahead and jot that down as well. Burn on this one. It's still the back of the mouth area. This one's just maybe touching the back of the throat a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Overall, if you're not accustomed to eating spicy food, this would be a great sauce for you to enter with. It's definitely going to be on that medium end for you. If you're a chili head, I would say this is on just the cusp of between mild and medium. So, overall, great sauce. Let me get this burn jotted down. Okay. All right, let me hand this on off. And we'll get into some ingredients here. So let's dive on in. Once again, they have their indicator on the side. Okay. Their indicator says, it's going to be a medium sauce. So pretty spot on there. All right. Ingredients here. We got red jalapeno pepper mash. We got distilled vinegar, garlic, water, and then brown sugar. So once again, with the first ingredient being red jalapeno pepper mash, it's definitely noticeable that there's a slight uptick. Is it going to end up making you run for the hills? No. It's going to definitely ramp up the presence. I could see this going great on some tacos as well as sandwich. With how the sauce is paired, it would just soak into the bread nicely, allowing you to get that nice flavor just spread across. So definitely digging that sriracha. And the unique approach to the sriracha not being the standard run-of-the-mill, almost creamy sriracha sauce. So, all right, let's get this one read off. Here we go. We're going to dive on into some heat here. So heat on this one, like I said, it's turned up just a little. I gave this one a 2.6 on the total heat scale. Let's getting the card going. Anyways, the overall heat, like I said, you're not going to be too worried about being burned down by the sauce. If you're just entering, obviously the restrictor will allow you to not only not go too heavy on it, but also give you a good idea of where you're, where you feel comfortable. So definitely digging that. Okay. And then we'll get that card updated here in a little bit. The overall aroma, we'll go ahead and roll with that. Aroma, I have this one down at 3.6. Like I said, definitely liking the aroma of this one, just slightly better than the total, what I took in, if you will, aroma-wise from the jalapeno garlic. So kudos there. Flavor, we got that one coming in at 3.5. So once again, I think the flavor of this one and the aroma of this one are just a touch better in my personal opinion. Once again, my wife and Daniel both very much have been diving into these sauces, so I know that they're loving it. And versatility, we got this one at 4.2. I gave it the same versatility because I feel that it is the same as far as potential limitations or lack thereof, I should say. And then overall burn, we have this one down at 2.35, just a touch higher than the jalapeno garlic. It's not going to, once again, just completely destroy you. So if you're new to the game, it would be a nice step up from their jalapeno garlic. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into our last sauce. This is the mango daddle. We're going to go ahead and give this one a good shake. All right, great color, great consistency. I'm going to go ahead and take off this stopper for pouring purposes, and we'll get on in here. So you can definitely pick up on the aroma right off the bat. A nice, healthy pour. All right. So they did a phenomenal job here being able to balance the mango from a sweetness profile. You're not having an overpowering sweet flavor bomb going on here. It's actually very savory. You get a nice notes from the garlic coming through, nice notes from the pepper. That flavor profile is coming in beautifully. Overall, let's get some stuff jotted down here, but overall heat on this one, I would say that it's not going to really burn you down. If you're new to the spice game, it is going to be a very safe one for you to jump into. It's going to be on the hotter end for if you're not a chili head. If you're a chili head, I would say this is borderline mild/medium. So overall, great flavor profile and great aroma going on here. Aroma-wise, you're mainly picking up the mango on the smell. So just know that it's going to be having a nice mango aroma. The versatility, I would say this one's pretty much on par with the other two sauces. However, I would say it's just ever so slightly not enough to be really not enough to really shake a finger at as far as the difference in versatility. Burn on this one, very similar to the sriracha. It's a little bit more on the back of the mouth, just barely touching the back of the throat. Nothing too crazy if you're a chili head. If you're new to the spice game, you'll definitely notice it. But the beauty of that restrictor, it allows you to have the chance to be able to control the flow. So let me get this handed on off. And we'll dive into the ingredients here. So get this cap on. Once again, they do have their heat score on the side. This one they have marked down as a medium heat sauce. So right on par with what I was thinking and expecting based on what I had tasted. So ingredients on this is apple cider vinegar, water, mango puree, and then you got daddle pepper mash, carrots, onion, garlic, brown sugar, and sea salt. So phenomenal sauce here. Definitely would recommend picking that up. If you're interested, we will have all the information as far as for Coconut Joe's hot sauce down in the description where you can pick up these sauces. Great flavor profile, nice touch of heat, and a very unique take on the sriracha. So definitely digging that. All right, looks like Looks like we have these input here. So let's go ahead and get that rolling. All right. First up, we have heat. The heat on this one's coming in at 2.5. All right. Aroma, 3.2. Flavor, 3.5. Versatility, 3.9. Burn, 2.35. For a total swear word rating of 3.09. Hey, there we go. Coconut Joe's hot sauce. Go check them out. Links for everything will be in the description below. But now it's time to get on over to the interview. All right. Hey, Ian, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Man, technology is a wonderful and a cursed things at times. So definitely appreciate you, navigating through these waters just as we are. But perks of a live show is that you see live things. So here we are. Hey, man, I'm so excited to have you on here. We had Strigoi on the Hot or Not, and I will be proud to report that it only made it past one more, one meal after that. Me and the family went out for some Mexican food. I packed it with me so that I can just lather it on my tacos, rice and beans, and it didn't leave the building. So phenomenal stuff there.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. It was fun to make.
Yeah. Of course, we have so much to dive into on that. But overall, I mean, it's not like you're, new to the space by any means. You're a fellow chili head. You're doing, competitions. You're taking on challenges. So, of course, one fun question that I always love to ask and learn and get to know better about others is, what was your entry point into the world of spice? And we'll go from there.
Oh, so random hot wing challenges at restaurants was when I started when I was a teenager. It was like, oh, I want to try this, and I just kind of got into doing those. If you had to sign a waiver, I wanted to do it.
Heck yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. That's awesome. So you mentioned hot wings and waivers and all the above. I can remember, what was that? I guess my first experience with it was during, what was it? Freshman year or so of high school, taking on the initial challenge for Buffalo Wild Wings and thinking like, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's do this, and it was good, but it wasn't as hot as I was expecting. And then you got the Wingstop thing, and they got their Atomic, and
Right.
it delivers in the heat, but not in the flavor. What you're able to do with your sauces is really just make everything sing. So with that being said, I mean, from a creative standpoint, whenever you're formulating the thoughts of, we'll talk about just the overall flavor profiles first before obviously I want to dive into the graphics and all that other stuff and creative ideas of where you came up with all this. But from a flavor profile standpoint, what's your approach with that? Do you really, do you envision these sauces around a particular dish, or is this just, ideas that you've had going on?
So like with Strigoi, um, I woke up in the middle of the night with just this idea, and I take out my phone and I started typing everything down. It's like, oh, I want to do this and this. It just came to me like this sounds like an awesome idea. And then I sat on the idea for probably 6 months before I actually made it. Um, Other things, I guess it's I have a lot of friends in the craft beer industry, and so I constantly see them pushing the envelope with flavor. So it's like, what can I do that's going to be really good and still, have that little bit of a, pack a punch there. So I'm always just looking at different unique flavor combinations.
Very nice. Yeah, I can definitely see the carryover and thought process of not only having friends in the craft beer space, but that collective creative that could be easily crossed over between the two. I mean, there's so many facets that are similar in that space. So that's really cool. So it's mostly a overall inspirational standpoint, more so than say like some sauce makers will focus on say a particular style of food.
No, I like to eat everything, so I want my sauce to go on everything.
Makes perfect sense. Okay. The how did we'll dive in from the overall branding standpoint. So from how did you come to be with Ruthless Reaper? Where did the name come from? What sparked that idea?
Well, so it was during the COVID shutdowns. I was growing, pepper plants, and I didn't know what to do with all the pods, so I started making sauce. I had a whole lot of Carolina Reapers. I mean, like I just grew one plant, and I had way too many that I knew what to do with, and so I was just throwing them in all my sauces. Like, let's put some of that in here and just have some fun with it. And so I was just trying to think of where, like, oh, I need a name. I'm just doing this for a hobby, but I'm making these labels on old shipping, stickers and everything. Um, we took my last name and the fact that there was a Reaper in it, and it was just like Ruthless Reaper. It was more of a joke, but it really fit, and I just ran with it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful when those things line up like that, and obviously it makes it a little bit more streamlined for you, and have a bit more meaning behind it. All right, from the sauce lineup names, where did those come from, and how did you land there?
I've always had a fascination with horror, occult, just the morbid side of things. So all of my stuff, I kind of I dig a little bit. Like my most mild sauce is Midsummer Possession, which actually wasn't named after the movie. It was just more like the midsummer ceremony that took place over in Germanic Europe. I really tried to play in with like those fresh spring summer flavors and just tie it into something that went with that. With Strigoi, it had all that garlic in there, so it's like I don't want to call it Dracula or vampire, so let's do a little bit more digging. Like the Romanian vampire was Strigoi. It's just really looking into it, what goes with the flavors for that darker side of things kind of name.
Very nice. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and it speaks to and it's connecting the dots for me as we're going. Because at first I was like, man, I don't know where these names are coming from, but they're very unique. I like where he's going with this labeling, which I noticed. Obviously, we've shared it on the channel as well. You had a recently shift as far as your overall branding. Labels, etc. Definitely liking the updates there. What share, if you could share with us anything regarding the thought process behind the updates.
So one of the things I really found going to farmers markets, everything, everybody's like, "Oh, how hot is this?" Well, on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, where you put this? Even my retailers were asking, "It's like, where does this, fall in line with the heat scale?" So with the new labels, I decided to add a little heat scale to them. Then there was also the fact that a lot of retailers are wanting nutrition panels and UPC codes. So I had to do a whole big update. On top of that, I love my old labels, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to make them more, something that really kind of jumped out at you. I want you to be able to walk down an aisle, see my sauce, and say, "That looks awesome. What's that?" And just people see it even at the markets, like, "Oh, what is it?" They have to see it and look at it and actually read about it. I just wanted that next level.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I mean, and they definitely give you that visual appeal. They definitely draw you in. And, as an outsider looking on it without knowing everything prior, it definitely gives you that pull, that lure where you're like, oh, what's going on here? I need to know more. Like, let me pick this bottle up and see what's going on. And I think you deliver well, not only from that visual initial grab, but then you rotate to see those ingredients and you're like, all right, yeah, I can get behind this. Like, let's check this out. Let's see what's up next. I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think currently from what I had, got from you, it's pretty much the whole line right now. Is that fair to say, or is there one or two missing? I know you also just made a new announcement about a partnership or something, or a collab or something like that.
All right, so you have all my available sauces.
Okay.
I have 2 sauces in.
All right. Well, looks like due to some technical difficulties tonight, we're going to have to go ahead and cut this episode here short. I definitely want to thank Ian for coming on. It was great to learn about Ruthless Reaper, what it took getting started, what process he had to go through to get to where he is now, the thought process behind the labeling, etc. Looking forward to having you back on, Ian, and diving deeper into some discussion about where you're headed and how things are going. So with that being said, want to go ahead and thank Coconut Joe's Hot Sauce. We had on Hot or Not tonight. They got the official swear word rating, and all links for Coconut Joe's Hot Sauce will be down below, as well as Ian's links to be able to find Ruthless Reaper and all of his socials. So, hey, thank y'all so much for being a part of the show, being active in the chat, fighting through everything that, happened here tonight. So thank y'all for being a part of this. Definitely please continue to share the word and get this, get this channel in front of the right chili heads. Also, shout out to podvision.io for allowing, all of this just to become painless and seamless. And hey, if you're looking to start your brand, launch your brand, figure out what to do, where you're going, how you're going to do it, but you got this great idea, podvision.io, check them out. So, hey, episode 18, it's a wonky one, but man, it was a fun one. So, until next Tuesday, this has been The Swear Word. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, see you next week.